2021 to 2024 Honda Civic front bumper replacement. What's up, everybody? I'm going to be doing the front bumper on this Honda Civic. It has a big hole right here on the left front side right here, so I'm going to be replacing this bottom half, but this video is how to do the whole thing pretty much. So I got a Honda Civic. This one's a 2022 with the 2.0 liter. I think it's the base LX one. No fog lights on this one, but you could still use this for one with fog lights. First thing, let's get some blue painter's tape and tape up the headlight lens, because we're going to be pulling off a lot of parts on and off, and we don't want to scratch the lenses. I recommend it. You don't have to though, but I highly recommend it. We're going to start by getting these clips off right here on the top. You pop the center of them up like this, and then once the center part is up, you can pull the whole clip out like this. There's about 10 of these guys from the right to the left side, and I got a little clip tool right here. I'll link this below, and this kind of helps just pop them up like this. And then there, I got the clips part number right here. You can get these on Amazon. You can actually get quite a bit. You can get like 25 for like $7 or $8. I highly recommend getting these because they will break on you. And when they break on you, it's not your fault. But I highly recommend getting some. I'll link those below too. Hey guys, real quick, I know it's annoying, but I wanted to tell you about a downloadable PDF I have for this exact repair. It's for the 2022 to 2024 Honda Civic. The PDF has about 10 times the amount of information, way more nuanced, detailed steps, part numbers, how to lift the car, all kinds of extra stuff. So if you really want to cover your bases and don't get caught up with no delays, I recommend you download the PDF. It's $10.99, but it's worth every penny. It also comes with a link to a secret video that's like a premium version of this video with real-time part numbers and extra information. All you gotta do is go down, click on the link on your tablet or your phone or your laptop, visit my Fourthwall store, purchase it. All you gotta do is type in your email, and then you'll get a download link, downloads to your phone, and you basically have it forever. Or if you're just interested in a premium version of this video with extra information and stuff, you could buy that as well. But if you don't get anything, this video should get you through just fine, but I just wanted to offer you those upgrades. All right, back to the video. And then we're gonna take the fender well, disconnect the fender well. We got this screw right here, and then we got a clip right here. It's kind of like camouflage clip, and then we got a screw right above it that's upside down. So we'll get this screw out right here, and then this clip, same thing, pop out the center and pull it off like this. Try not to lose it and break it, and then we'll get that screw out right there. And I do this for both sides, and then save these. Now, once we get both sides done, like on the fender well, we're going to go on the bottom, and we're going to take out a bunch of clips down here. Now, there's clips, there's quite a bunch of clips. You're going to want to remove all these clips. They're the same clips from the top. Remove the screws attached to the gravel guard as well, and then we can pull this forward. Now, real quick, on the sides, you got these clips right here. There's a screw right here. And then you got clips all the way across. You'll see them once you're underneath here. You could probably lift your vehicle, and then both sides are kind of set up the same. You got that screw. And then there's two different screws down here. You might see like a bolt or like a different style screw, because a lot of times people just throw whatever into that spot. But we'll get this screw out right here on both sides. Get that one and that one out. And then the rest is just pretty much the clips. There should be a smaller screw as well on each side, but this car was missing those, but I'll show you them at the end. Go ahead and get these off here. Get all the clips out, work your way all the way across. And after a while, this thing should just be kind of loose on the bottom. And then as you can see, now the air deflector has like 4 or 5 clips right here. This air deflector, don't worry about these ones, because even if you took these out, you can't take the deflector off right now. So we're going to take that off later. When we get our new bumper, we'll switch it over. But everything else should be completely loose. You should be able to kind of like wiggle the bottom and then make sure it's not attached to anything. Now let's get the sides of the bumper off. Now this part right here, you're going to want to wiggle and pull outwards. Wiggling is your friend. Just wiggle it and pull it forward gently. It feels unnatural, but that's how you got to do it. And then just kind of pull it off like that. Don't pull it anymore, because we got to detach it another spot. And then also on top right here, we got to get this hidden clip out. There's a little hidden clip. This one is actually different from the 10 that we originally pulled out in the front. So get that out. Here's what this clip, the part number for this clip. And once you get that off, we'll take this top piece off. Now the top piece is different. What you want to do is lift it up halfway and then pull it outwards towards you. That's how it comes off. If you just try to rip it off, you might break something. It has a different style bracket that you have to lift it upwards and then out. and then we'll go ahead and get this side out over here. Just wiggle and pull this out right here. Okay, now that's all it's going to come out, and then we'll just get this top loose. The bumper's not ready to come off yet, but we're on our way. So now we got to get this trim piece off on both sides. Plastic interior tool would be good because it won't scratch nothing. I'll link some below. That way you can work on stuff and the plastic won't scratch anything. Get this trim piece off. Just kind of go underneath and just kind of pop it up and wiggle it and pull it upwards. Here it is right here. And then in here, there's a bracket that has like a locking tab right here. This has got to come up. It's way back there. You kind of really got to look for it. And you're going to use something like a small flathead or a little mini pry bar or something to go in there and pry it off. At this point, let's secure the bumper with either like a tool or put one clip back in on the top. And we're going to come in here and get this locking tab unlocked. Once these locking tabs are unlocked, the bumper is going to want to come off. I think there's like 3 of them. And you're going to want to go very carefully, just go in there and lift up the locking tab and then wiggle and pull the bumper forward. It's kind of difficult, and you got to be very careful not to scratch your lens, but you're going to do both sides. I'm going to go ahead and get this headlight trim piece off on the left side and then repeat the process with the locking tabs on this side. Now, once those are unlocked, this bumper will be ready to come off. And so all I got to do is take it off. So I'm going to take off the tool I had securing it and then just grab this and wiggle it and pull it forward, and then we're going to set it to the side, and we got to switch over a bunch of components to the new bumper, so we'll get to that right now. Okay guys, so here's my new bumper. This is from Honda. I'll show you the part number. This is the part number I got from Honda. Now you don't have to get a Honda bumper. You can get them from Amazon or Walmart.com. There's also an alternative part number. You just got to make sure you get the right one for your submodel. Mine's the LX or the base or the sport. But yeah, you can get bumper parts online. If you want to go to Honda though, you can. I mean, I recommend it, but it's usually marked up pretty good. But wherever you buy the bumper from, it's going to come blank. It comes like this. This is just the kind of the bottom part, the main part, I guess. It comes blank, and we got to switch everything over from the old bumper over to the new bumper, and then you can go get it painted after it's assembled, or you can go get it painted before you assemble. It's up to you. But whatever you're doing, we're going to have to switch over some stuff. There's a clip right here, and then there's some tabs that you have to undo. And then if you're going to be doing new grills and stuff, you might have to take some screws off. But basically, this thing's held together by these little locking tabs. And what you got to do is pull the center part down and then push that tab coming through out towards the front. And then if you have any clips like this, you got to, pop the center out and then get it out. Let's start though with the fog light assemblies. Same thing, you got these little locking tabs, and if you don't have a fog light, then you're gonna have this fog light cap. It's like a dummy filler plate, and you just take it off. It's 2 screws. Just take it off and set it aside. Save the screws, and then there's a 3rd screw down here on the panel that we'll just go ahead and take off. You have to take this off to get the panel off anyway, but we'll put it back on later on, so don't worry about putting it back on just yet. And then basically you just got to lift up these tabs and push this guy out. You're kind of doing both at the same time, and there's locking tabs on the bottom too, so don't forget those. And just what you're doing is you're just kind of unlocking those and then pushing it forward, and it'll slowly start to come out, and then finally you can pull it off. You gotta have a lot of patience. Don't rage rip it off because you'll break stuff. And then just do it for both sides. Get the other side, the little fog light cover off like this, and then get the panel out on that side as well. Here's mine. And then here is the part numbers for these ones. These are without parking sensors or fog lights. They just come with the holes for the dummy plates. I guess you could use these if yours has fog lights if you don't have the parking sensors. I'll put it all below. And then here's the caps. Here's the part number for that. And then we'll just put this on right here. This, when you go to put it back on, you just put the tabs back in the holes. You got to make sure they line up perfect. Be very patient. And then we'll go ahead and put this cap back on the new one there. Just screw this in. You don't have to take the caps off if you're just switching over the whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and just snap my fingers and do the other side right here. I just wanted to show you how to take the caps off, or if you're changing your fog lights out, that's the same procedure. Now this bottom grill, it has these pieces on it, but we don't need to worry about taking those off because we're just going to get the whole thing off. It just has these locking clips all up and down the bottom, and then we'll just push it out the front. So you just got to go around manually, undo each clip, and then kind of pull the grill forward, and then get that locking tab out, and then just work your way all around. You got to go all from left to right, right to left, and you got to be patient. Now, if you're trying to get it off and it's just stuck, it won't come off, especially from the bottom. You may have forgotten a couple clips, like right here. All you got to do is rotate your bumper and then undo the clips right here. Get these out. And then once all these are out, you should be able to pull this guy out no problem. Just like that. And then when we put it back in, we're going to be using these clips right here. So I'm going to put this into the new bumper. And as you can see, it has like the license plate bracket and then those little air dams on it still. I didn't have to take those off. And so we're going to put these in right here. It has tabs that slide into these holes. You kind of got to be really observant. Just line up the tabs into the holes and make sure each one goes in. If you have just one that's off, it'll mess up the whole thing. Also on the corners, the reason why I said don't put that screw in just yet is because this grill has a corner piece that needs to go under the fog light panel. You put the grill in first and then put the fog light panel over it, and then we'll screw it in. But get all these bottom tabs in. You can see they're kind of dirty. You can see like kind of where they line up on this new one. And then we'll get the top piece in. A lot of patience is required to do this. If you're getting impatient and you're like rushing, just go take a 5 or 10 minute break. Come back. All right, so we'll just get this guy in right here. Just line each tab up and then get that panel on. And this should be looking like this, and it should be able to kind of stand up on its own, really. And then we'll go to the back and we'll put that screw in that I mentioned earlier, because this is going to go through the fog light panel right into the grill panel and hold it all together. And it'll hold it steady on both sides there. All right, cool. And that's how it looks so far. So we're coming along. And then make sure these are lined up. And then you could put your clips in now if you want on the bottom to lock this in place. Just rotate your bumper. Obviously have something to protect it on the ground or on a bench, whatever you're doing, so you don't scratch your new bumper. Especially if you went and got it painted, then you really want to be careful with it. All right, guys, so we got to get these attachment clips off of the old bumper. The way you do this is you just kind of slide it forwards and then pull the hook side down out of this hole and then just kind of slide it out like that. And then just do both sides. And then when you put these in, it's just like reverse. You just put the whole side in first and then bring it up like that. Get those in place on both sides. All right, now that's good. Now, to take this top grill off, there's 4 screws, and then there's attachment clips all up and down, and there's also 2 regular clips right here. There's a clip right here that needs to have the center popped out, and there's a clip on the other side. So we'll go ahead and get these out first, of course. Get these out right here. 1, and then 2. Okay, we got these out. And then basically get these 4 screws out. It's just a basic Phillips. And then after you get those out, we just got to undo each locking clip. They're all like the same as the ones we've done before. It takes a minute, but we'll get this off right here. Here it is right here. Now my bumper top piece and grill and emblem was fine, so I'm not going to be replacing these. But I will need to switch over this air deflector. Now this is on the bottom of the bumper. You want to get this off. This is the one I told you about earlier. I said if you take the clips off, you still wouldn't be able to get it off because you have to go on the other side and get this piece off. There's like a piece that has like a expanded little rubber piece. You got to compress that from the inside and then push this out. There's like 3 of them. So we'll get this off right here. And then we could put this on the new bumper. This just goes in right here. This one's actually pretty easy to line up. Just push the clip in like this. And then push these in, and then those expanded parts, just push those in, and then those will kind of hold it in place, and you can put the clips in. All right, that's the air deflector. Now the grill, here it is right here. Mine's good. My top grill and the bumper on top is good, but if you need to replace this, you're gonna need to get the grill, which is a pretty big grill. It looks like this, and then you buy this, and then you have to get these little two brackets right here. There's one right here, and then there's one on the other side. These will need to attach to your new upper bumper piece. So these are the part numbers for the brackets, and then the top bumper piece is right here, and then here's the part number. It looks like this, and then once you combine those three things, then you'll have your piece ready to go. So I'm going to put mine back on same way it came off. Just line up all the tabs, push them in place. It's kind of tricky because this thing wants to wobble nonstop, so just take your time and put the tabs in, and then once you get the tabs locked in, you can put those clips in, and then the 4 screws back in place, and then it should hold pretty steady once you have everything back in place. But yeah, this one was like a little bit more trickier than the one on the bottom. But all right, once you got that in, should be looking like this. And then of course put these 2 clips back in. There's one right here and the other one. Now these break, so if they break, don't be mad at yourself because they usually break. And then just make sure all your tabs are lined up perfect. If one of them is off, then your bumper's not going to look right. So make sure you take the time to make sure they're all in place where they should be. Now we can put this bumper back on the car. Just line it up as best you can. Kind of expand it around the headlights. And then put like one clip or one tool in the top to kind of hold it in place while you kind of line everything up the best you can. I just put like a clip on top, one clip in, and then you know, like right here, and that'll just kind of hold it in place. And then yeah, let's go ahead and snap everything into place. I'll start with these right here, and then we got to do definitely the sides. As first thing is right here, and then the sides. So what you want to do is just make sure nothing's getting held up, and just kind of push this bumper into those locking tabs that we unlocked earlier. Push them straight in, and then when those are in, you want to go to the side and get this side piece of the bumper into the bracket to hold it in place. Now you don't want to like just slam it in place. You want to put it into that locking bracket and then just push it in. It should just snap in and be fine. And then the top, of course, you don't just push it in on the top. You like have to put it halfway and then slide it down. Same thing over here. We'll snap this right under the headlight into place, and then we'll go over here to the side, and then you might have to like kind of, I don't want to say stretch, but kind of, you know, like pull it to fit. Not that much, but just like a little bit is normal. And then we'll get the top piece in right here. Remember the top piece, you just put the panel piece over half, like the middle of it, and then you slide it down. This is not like a push in. This is like you line it up and then you just slide it downwards to lock in place. That should be good. Now we can go ahead and remove the tape on the headlight at this point. There's nothing going to be too much going on around these lenses, so I'll just go and remove this. You can remove it at the end if you want, but I'm just going to get it done now. Now let's put on these trim pieces right here. This is the left side. Line up the tabs, and then just patiently push these in place. They should just kind of snap into place. I'll just start on one side and just very carefully and slowly work your way across. Push it in like that. All right. And we'll go to this side, the right side, and do the same thing. Just line up everything. If it's not going in, then maybe like a tab is bent or something. So just, you know, don't force nothing. Should just snap in like that. Now we're going to go ahead and just put some of these clips in on the bottom here. You can just start on the sides right here, and then we'll work our way across, put our screws in, and then just put in the clips all the way across. So this will secure to the frame. I had this piece right here. It was broke. I had to get a new one. So here it is right here. I'm not sure exactly the name, but here's the part number. So if you need a new one of these, and you just put it up like this right here. It's kind of like a mini gravel shield. And then it just clips in with the clips. But yeah, get all your clips in all the way across. And then, like I said, I'm supposed to have a gravel guard, but this one was missing it. And then we got to get our side pieces in. Put that screw in on the top first, and then the sides, and then we'll go ahead and get that clip back in as well right here. Put the bottom half in first and then push the top half in like that. And then on the top we got to put our clips in across the way, those 10 clips, and just make sure you don't miss any spots. It's easy to miss a spot. Hopefully you bought enough clips to replace all the ones that broke or were missing. We'll get all these in. All right, and then that should hold everything in place. Double check everything, and then you should be good to go. That's all the information I got for you. The rest of the video is just some products and other stuff I got going on. Totally up to you if you want to stick around. I got a 15% off Oxido.com promo code. Now Oxido has a bunch of products, but what they're mostly known for is their really good aftermarket headlights. So if you got an older car, 80s, 90s, 2000s, even a newer car, if it has a bulb, they probably got an upgraded bulb for you. You may have seen aftermarket LED headlights on Amazon, but the thing, I'm not going to say any names, but the thing is they have a lot of issues. Sometimes they start to flicker after a few months, or they get hot and the LED burns off. These are available on Amazon. You can get them there. However, if you go to the website and use the promo code GEARMO AUTO, you can get 15% off. It's really easy. All you got to do is go to the website on your phone or your computer and then put in what kind of car you have, what year, make, and model, you know, that stuff, and then it'll display to you all the available lights for your vehicle. You can get headlights, tail lights, interior lights. Highly recommend getting some good interior lights. You'll be surprised how bright it is. So just type GEARMO AUTO in at the checkout and you'll get 15% off.